Nick, and I'm 14.
Joe, I'm 17.
Kevin, 19.
But it's cool, 'cause we're just
Fans.
oh yeah. Just
Fans.
we used to be just
Fans.
I feel very lucky to be a Jonas Brother.
Hey, you guys, welcome up to the We're Just Fans podcast, hosted by a fan who's been a fan of the Jonas Brothers since they dropped their hit, Mandy. Hey, welcome back to another episode. I took a break from last week because I believe we were last Sunday. Well, yesterday was basically when I'm recording this, it's Monday, but when you guys get this, it's Sunday. Yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of Jealous, and then earlier last week was the 19th year anniversary of the first self-titled Nicholas Jonas. I was going to do an episode on it yesterday, but I figured that I would give myself time because I did do a really dope fan project, including a lot of Jonas fans celebrating Jealous over the 10 years that has been released. And I was working on that project, and I figured that I would give that my priority, and then I would come back within the next week with a really dope episode. So without further ado, today's episode is going to be a really fun one. So I've seen everybody on Stan Twitter doing asking Chatgpt to rank or to tell what their worst, best, or favorite songs are by their favorite artists. And because we're a Jonas Brothers podcast, we're going to do that here. So let me just pull up the page. I have it on my iPad. Okay, so I asked them to rank the Jonas Brothers songs. I believe that's what I asked them. So here's them ranking the Jonas Brothers songs. So hold on, y'all. At number 1 is SOS, they said a major hit that brought them significant attention. Listen, I love SOS. Okay, let's read the list and then we'll go back over it, okay? Because I got some thoughts, okay? So next is Burning Up, known for its catchy tune and energetic vibe. I'm also noting that Burning Up is at number 2, known for its catchy tune and energetic vibe. I would have to agree. If we're talking about overall hits and ranking them, Burning Up is literally one of it's a fan fave. It's like a local fave too. Love Bug, a fan fave with a memorable chorus. I have to agree. Love Bug is such a memorable song, and the guitar solo live just eats. It hits different for me. Every time I go to a Jonas show and I hear the hopeless, breathless, baby, can't you see? Then it goes, now I'm and you get to say, Yahoo! I love it. Okay, so at number 4, When You Look Me in the Eyes, a more emotional ballad that showcases their range. I have to agree. Chatgpt ate with that one. When You Look Me in the Eyes is such a nostalgic hit. And at number 5, they have Year 3000. I agree. One of their earlier hits that remains popular. I honestly think that that's one of their biggest hits. Everybody has to remind you 5 billion times it was recorded by Busted. Oh my God, the 2019 reunion era was so annoying. Yes, we get it's by Busted, but most of us grew up with seeing the Jonas Brothers through a Disney commercial, pause break. We were probably watching That's So Raven, whatever show not so much, but probably That's So Raven or Lizzie McGuire. Whatever show you was watching during that time period, you remember a commercial coming on for the Year 3000 music video. That's how we got introduced to the song. I didn't even know it was a cover until years later. But I'm not going to sit up here and act I'm not going to be oh my God, I'm not going to bash the original group. Because what I thought was pretty cool is they shut y'all the hell up a couple years later when they dropped their joint version of Year 3000. I was like, yes, Kings, yes. Shut the rumors up, because it's a cover, and we know that. And we know that also What I Go to School For is also a Busted cover. So please, leave us alone for the foreseeable future. At number 6 is Fly With Me, another favorite with upbeat tempo and Authentic Feel, Love, Fly With Me, Peter Pan and Wendy, Turned Out Fine, So Won't You Fly With Me, dun 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 dun. Okay, at number 7, this song should have never made the top 10. This should have never made the top 10. Argue with Your Mama. I'm not a Pom Poms anti, but Pom Poms being at number 7 is a little bit ridiculous. Like, and it's like ChatGPT does not know the Jonas Brothers dropped a whole album. Like the Jonas Brothers dropped a whole album last year. Like the album exists. Like, where is the album representation? There is not even no single. There is one song from Happiness Begins, but it's now no songs from the album. I would have put a song from the album before I put Pom Poms. Anyways, known for its fun and infectious beat. It's fun. It's campy. Come on now. It is definitely campy. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing when that song dropped. So at number 8, which I don't know why Hold On is lower than Pom Poms, but I digress. A song that continues their pop rock sound with inspiring lyrics. I could not agree more with that description. Number 9 is Cool, a newer hit with a modern. This is not newer. How recently updated is ChatGPT? Because how is this more of a newer hit? They have released albums and singles. Like, I'm surprised if Pom Poms is on here, why is not Who Is In Your Head not on the list? Like, what? Okay, and then number 10, which they considered 0, is Jealous, a solo track from Nick Jonas that's widely loved and showcases individual talent. I don't know why Jealous is on this list when I asked for Jonas Brothers songs, but I wouldn't even, if I was even putting in solo music, I wouldn't even put Jealous at number 10. Get this, y'all. ChatGPT ranked Jealous lower than Pom Poms. Hold On, lower than Pom Poms. Pom Poms made it at number 7, y'all. Y'all see that? Oh my God. All right, and we're not even done yet. And then, they said this ranking blends their chart performance, fan reception, and overall influences. Somebody tell me where Pom Poms ranked that on the charts, because I'm pretty sure that was not one of their biggest hits. That was actually one of the eras where people were not tuned in, and only the fans, only the real ones, only the hard day core ones were there for that era. Like, not everybody was there. The locals were certainly not tuned in. Okay, so then I asked them to rank the Jonas Brothers albums, but I told them to put, so I guess this is just ranking the albums in general, but they always keep saying that this is based on personal taste, which I agree. Everybody's taste palettes are different. So at number 1 was A Little Bit Longer, and because I am a little bit longer stan, and I'm going to be very biased, she deserved her number 1. And if you're going to argue with me, argue against the wall, besties. But you're totally fine if A Little Bit Longer is not your first album on your top of your rankings. But if I'm ranking, it's going to be A Little Bit Longer. So then the second one is the Jonas Brothers. Honestly, I'm not mad at this ranking. I think Jonas Brothers, the self-title, is a really good album. Now, back to number 1, I just want to read what the description says. So it says, often considered their best work. Oh my God, yes, ChatGPT! Yo, real ones! It features its hits like Burning Up, When You Look Me in the Eyes. Okay, no, wrong answer, forehead.
Wrong answer, forehead.
When You Look Me in the Eyes is on their self-titled. ChatGPT, do your homework. Oh my God. No. What? Oh my God. Who is behind ChatGPT? Because they can't be serious. Okay. And then, following along with that, they say, and represents their peak popularity, which is true. A Little Bit Longer is one of their biggest albums, I would say, to date. Like, one of their biggest albums. Like, I think when you think of a Jonas Brothers album, you think of it's a Little Bit Longer. Like, it has some of their biggest hits, and some of their biggest hits while on Disney, too. So for the Jonas Brothers one, they said, basically, this self-titled album includes hits like SOS and Holding On, marking their breakthrough. I agree, but I just want to know what they got When You Look Me in the Eyes at from A Little Bit Longer. They could have said A Little Bit Longer, the title of the album. The album. Oh my God. And I just realized I was not recording. Okay, so now I'm recording with good audio. So I may cut that part out. I may not. I may re-record that part. We'll see. But I was just talking for a few minutes without starting the recorder. My voice memos. So moving right along. Number 3 says Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. Though it received mixed reviews, it includes popular tracks like Paranoid and Fly With Me. I didn't really know that Lines, Vines, and Trying Time received any mixed reviews. I can't remember what the reviews were like when the album dropped, but I think Lines, Vines, and Trying Times is a top 3 album. It's really a good album, and I feel like I'm so glad it is now getting the flowers it deserves, because it has so many good tracks like Don't Speak, Hey Baby, like so many good songs. Like, it's just a really good album. Going right along. On number 4 is, now this one is controversial to me. I think the album should be higher than Happiness Begins. Don't come for me, besties. Don't come for me. I just think it should be higher. But it says Happiness Begins, their comeback album, featuring hits like Sucker, was well received and marked their return in the music scene. Now, I have to agree with people maybe putting Happiness Begins a little bit higher, just because this was the album. This was the reunion album. This got them their first Grammy nomination in a long ass time for their single Sucker. Imagine you come out with a single called Sucker. It does successfully well. You go a bit, I think, didn't they make the Billions Club for Sucker? I think they made the Billion Spotify Streams Club for Sucker. Sucker got a Grammy nomination. They had their biggest tour one of the biggest tours to date. Their reunion era is definitely unremarkable, and it's definitely one of the best I've seen for a boy band in history. One of the best I've seen for a boy band in history. So I think, like, it was definitely very much an iconic, successful year. But I think the album, just to me, was written. Just written well. I mean, the songs on Happiness Begin are good. Do not get me wrong. I'm not Happiness Begin anti. I just think I love the songs more better on the album than Happiness Begins. But I love the Happiness Begins album. So please don't come for me in the comments. I think they're both great albums. I just would have put the album at number 4 instead of number 5. But they said the album is their last one that they put on there. They said this, their latest release, which I guess they got that right, because they thought Cool was their newest release. But okay. Continuing their signature style and featuring songs like Wings. I would have picked a different song to feature, but the album is definitely a top 5 album. I mean, like, come on now, let's be freaking for real. That album has bops after bops after bops. So many good songs like Vacation Eyes, Miracle, Walls. Like, it was just such a good lyrical album. I do miss their pop rock stuff, but I think it was such a good, like, song. And you know, I'm a sucker for anything 70s and 80s, so anything Bee Gees inspired had me, like, on my pins and needles, like, yes. But we have to keep going on, besties. I asked which one was their favorite Jonas Brother, okay? Because I was curious, like, ChatGPT, tell me what your favorite Jonas Brother is. They said, I don't have a personal preference, but each Jonas Brother brings something unique to the table. Nick is known for his strong solo career and vocal range. Okay. Joe is celebrated for his charisma and dynamic stage presence. I have to agree. Joe is okay, so may this be the hottest 6 of them all, but we all know it. Joe was given very much Freddie Mercury during the Remember This tour. And I know everybody likes to argue on the front man, leader man type of stuff, but Joe really is a good front man, leader man. Like, I mean, he knows how to bring in a crowd. He's funny. He's hilarious. He has a stage presence. He's handsome. He's gorgeous. Like, he was meant to be a lead of something. And that's why he also shined in DNCE. Not to take away from the other members like Jinsu and stuff like that. They were all important members in DNCE. But I'm just saying, like, he knows how to light up the room. That he is such a good person to be a leader of a band. And I think that's just such a good thing about him. And like I said, he's so funny. He's good at hosting a crowd. Like, I would love to see him host an award show. Like, he would eat it up. And then lastly is Kevin. He is appreciated for his musical talent and being the band's steady presence. I agree. I think Kevin is such a great, dope guitarist. He is great with his guitar work, but he also is just such a, steady presence. Like, when you know Kevin's there, it's always a good time. And Kevin is just always like he's the glue. Like, he's the glue at the end of the day. Like, it would be no Jonas Brothers without Kevin. It would be no band without him. It would be nothing without him, because he literally is the, like, missing puzzle piece to the band. and it asks me who my favorite is. And if you guys don't know me by now, I am a Nick girl through and through. I'm on the Nick train. I'm Nick Nation. I'm Nick Knackin. I am on. I am on. O's. I'm on. What's it called? I'm on Villa One Boulevard. I am a certified Villa One baddie. Okay, I love me some Nick Jonas. I love me some Nikki J. And then I asked them, what is their worst album? And this is what they told me. Now, mind you, this is what ChatGPT told me. I ain't say this. They said the Jonas Brothers' Lions, Vibes, and Trying Times is often considered their least well-received album. It had mixed reviews and didn't achieve the same level of commercial success or critically acclaim as their earlier works like A Little Bit Longer or Jonas Brothers self-titled. The album shift in the musical direction and the overall reception has contributed to its position as the least favorited among their discography. So it looks like ChatGPT tries to take fan thoughts or what the public has said. I honestly don't think it's the least. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how the album. I can't remember how the album really did commercial wise, but I think it's definitely a fan favorite. It's definitely one of those albums that we're always rooting for, along with It's About Time, to get its justice. But it is such a good album. It is completely a shift between doing pop rock for 3 albums and then coming out with a Live by Trying Times can be kind of like a good musical shift. I almost want to say the album kind of reminds me a bit of an earlier Lions, Vibes, and Trying Times. It's like that type of sound a bit, which I love, and it kind of sounds like a sound that they also love to do along with their pop rock roots. But yeah, I absolutely love this album. Like I said, it's got so many bops on there. You'll be remiss to not add it to your list. Okay. Next I asked them. Now this is about the Jonas Brothers show, but I asked them which one was their favorite. I asked them, was it Jonas or Jonas LA? So here's what they said. Now basically they gave the top 2 are basically just synopsis about what the show is, but they said while both shows have their charm, Jonas is often remembered fondly for its original take on the lives of the Jonas Brothers, while Jonas LA is an approach for its new setting and continues storylines. The preference between the two often depends on which setting and storylines fans enjoyed more. And I couldn't agree more. I think what made Jonas LA more better is that it wasn't so heavily focused on, because I think that's why a lot of people seem to think the Jonas Brothers are a Disney band because of the show Jonas. And we've seen countless time and time again with TV shows like Big Time Rush and things like that, where bands were kind of formed for the purpose of a TV show, but then they ended up being a real band and making music outside the show. But the thing with the Jonas Brothers is they've been a band way before the TV show came out. They were already an established band. So the show was just like a reality. It was kind of showing their lives, navigating school, relationship, friendships, everyday life while being band. I think what made Jonas LA stand out is that it kind of made their career it kind of made the fact that they were musicians kind of a second, it kind of made it like a second thought to more it took a more dramatic role. It took more of a reality TV dramatic role take to it, where it wasn't so much a show about brothers that are in a band, but they're brothers that have relationships, they have drama, they have their sons, they're they have more to themselves. And then you see some of them taking more like Joe going in a more career role where he's going more into doing acting. And it's so funny that Nick was literally on the verge of teasing he wanted to go solo on the TV show, and then what happened? That's insane to think about. But yeah, I honestly prefer Jonas LA over Jonas. I think Jonas holds its weight, but Jonas LA is just the better season. Sorry, not sorry. All right, so I asked the ChatGPT what was their worst Jonas Brothers song. What was the worst Jonas Brothers song? They said it is subjective and can be very hard based on personal taste. Now, they said some fans might point to Love Bug or Paranoid as less popular songs or less well received compared to their bigger hits. Ultimately, opinions on music are highly individual, so what's considered the worst by one person might be a favorite to another. And that is a very true statement. I will give ChatGPT their flowers for the ending. But I want to speak to the fans who think Love Bug and Paranoid is their worst songs. They got songs in discography that deserve that spot. Like, sorry, but like Love Bug is one of their worst, one of not least well received songs. When they have songs like One Man Show in their discography, like be freaking for real. Like Summer in the Hamptons exist. Y'all might hate me for that one. But I am a Summers in the Hampton anti, and I will continue to be it until it gives me a reason to like make me think that it's a good song. I will say it does show their growth as a band. I will say that the song does show that they are men now. They're men, and they want, they enjoy, like, they're not little boys anymore. So it definitely shows that they're really grown. Like, talking about you have some Dutchie in your left hands. Okay. But yeah, I asked them what their worst song was, and that's what they gave me. So let's see. The last one says, what is their popular or best song? And the two they chose was SOS and Burning Up, but more recently, Sucker. I feel like more recently, a fan favorite song is probably going to be Walls is definitely a fan favorite. I think Waffle House has been one too. And then I definitely think Miracle has hit well with a lot of fans because they love when Nick, because who doesn't love when Jonas says, Jersey! Jersey! And then he would, every night of the tour, he would get up and sing like, Jersey! Or Chicago! And I'm like, yes. I remember Kimmy was talking about, like, Joe, please do that. I'm like, oh my God, yes. So I didn't go over any SOSs, but we'll get into that next podcast. Let me organize my SOSs because I did not come prepared with my SOSs for today. I mean, nothing really interesting new has happened, really, besides like an Alan Walker collab that dropped. I'm going to get y'all information on the last year's play, and then we'll talk about that and how you guys can get to that. Maybe the next episode we can go through Nick's Broadway career. We can talk about that because I mean he's had an extensive Broadway career. I think Joe has had one too. Kevin was doing a little bit of commercial work, but maybe we can talk about what they was doing before they were the Jonas Brothers. Also, don't ask me if I've heard the Alan Walker collab. I have not heard it. I've heard snippets. I'm so back behind. And I think other than that, Alan Walker collab, I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Other than the Alan Walker collab, I think that's pretty much it for today's episode. The Good Half is on streaming now. You have to rent it to watch it. I might pay and rent it to watch it so then we can review it on the podcast. But I did get to go to the what is it called? The special night, the evening with Nick and the director. And I got to hear them talk about the movie and just the process of going through it. And it was just really a cool experience. It really made it feel like I was going to like a exclusive event for the Jonas Brothers. And I was for Nick. And it was just such a cool experience. I honestly think it was really nice to be able to have that second chance to go because I missed out on the first time. And it really wasn't one of the movies that like went worldwide. Like you couldn't like go through all your theaters and watch it. I think they did release it again, but I don't think it was any more of the evenings showings. But yeah, I definitely want to do an episode about that. So stay tuned for next week. Next week we should have more of an organized podcast. Well, this podcast wasn't disorganized, but it wasn't like I had my SOSs prepared, and I almost forgot to do my SOSs. I know in my last podcast that I did for Justin Bieber, I had so many segments. I find it easier to just stick to one thing that I'm going to talk about each podcast while giving up some updates from here and there, just because it helps me to do this podcast, but I do love doing, special segments. I might bring that in. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go because I'm just basically at this point being a certified yapper and my finger hurts because I was holding this thing on there like that. Anyways, bye-bye. Mwah.